Homework? You have got to be kidding. It's Sandra Mazili here from Inner Action Counselling. Check me out at www.inneractioncounselling.co.uk. This is the inside scoop, all about why therapists give you homework. You're in session, doing your thing, client, therapist, therapist, client, talking, moving around, drawing or doing whatever it is, and then on your merry way. Oh, wait, there's some tasks to do which need to be done before the next session. Why? What on earth are they thinking? When I talk to my own clients, I never refer to stuff like this as homework. That's just asking for it. I mean, homework is for school. You've left now. Unless you're 16, 17, or even 18, in which case you probably haven't left school, but schooly stuff is for schooly things, and therapy is not school. So why would I bring schooly language into something that isn't school? Just as a quick aside, I would talk to my own clients about things to play with or explore or experiment with within the week. And then we come back together and discuss how it went or what was noticed. So, reasons for tasks between sessions. First up, we might be sowing seeds for new behaviors. I've said in other videos that we're together less than an hour a week. You're with yourself 24 hours a day. So the therapy time is a drop in the ocean. The magic happens sometimes between sessions. And so might need a task to solidify that magic. Rather than, oh, look, this just magically worked itself out. Sometimes things absolutely do. We talk about whatever it is, and a lot of times that is more than enough for the brain to then mull it over, percolate, and ding. At other times, some behaviors, patterns, even thought processes need to be unpicked somehow. And we might decide that monitoring certain things once, twice, three times a day until next time is a good idea. For example, if you, my client, are experiencing panic attacks, and unlike the main where, you see on TV programs, people are in a shopping center or in a crowded restaurant or a scary ride, panic attack. Spiders, panic attack. Scary movie, panic attack. But perhaps you are getting them and you don't know why you're getting them. It's just coming out of absolutely nowhere. I'm minding my business, watching TV or brushing my teeth, panic attack. Like, what on earth? You therapist, you do something. And we might decide that writing stuff down and monitoring your behaviors, your thoughts, your feelings for at least a week, it's probably longer than that if we're following this scenario through, to work out what might be triggering it. Because it's clearly not obvious at this moment in time. Sometimes these things don't immediately follow the triggery moment, as in, see this scary, hairy spider, or panic attack. But sometimes it might take an hour or two. Sometimes the brain will have a sort of delayed reaction to certain things. And you see this a lot with grief, where somebody's died and the person who's left behind doesn't feel sad or tearful or angry or anything. There's just a complete kind of numbness setting in. And then days, weeks, months later, then those feelings start to come out. But we know what that is. It's a pretty big thing to miss. With the scenario we're talking about, like a panic attack, that's not completely obvious what the trigger is. If we're writing notes about the thoughts, feelings, behaviors, we might find a recurring pattern or a thought or an idea that we haven't actually noticed before. And we can't really necessarily do that in 50 minutes a week. that you're with yourself every day and you can make notes and you can notice what's happening. And even if you can't, there'll be people around you who do notice. What's that thing you do with your knife and fork, in general? So you can make notes on what they notice about you. We can do this. So that's one reason for tasks between sessions. Another reason could be to sow seeds for behaviors we actually want. So we've talked about something we do not want to experience. Who wants to experience a panic attack, for crying out loud? But you might feel that you're getting somewhere with a specific behavior or a specific thought idea, that automatic thought process, and unpicking it. And so writing notes about it, or maybe not writing notes, but every time this happens with my hand, I'm going to do that. I'm being a little bit flippant, but you get the idea. You want to bed something in. So building something into your routine and doing it every day, or maybe not even every day, but every week, like regularly enough to be like, yes, I'm doing this now without thinking about it so much. I don't have to think that hand equals that hand. It's just going there. Yay! Proof is another idea. Maybe you've come up with an extraordinary idea of how to help yourself, and we put it to the test by doing some experiments during the week between the sessions. So we've talked about whatever it is. This is extraordinary, right? How do you know this is the reality? We test it. And we might decide that you will test whatever it is during the week, and we come back together and talk about it. Automatic thoughts unraveling. You've probably been in this situation before. I'm in one mood and out of nowhere, snap, I'm angry as anything. And we know that moods don't change just like that. Happy, sad, angry, bad, mad, sad. There are steps towards each one. And it's very hard to see those steps when you're feeling like you're thrown into one thing and then another thing and then something else. So that's another reason for monitoring stuff and playing with certain tasks or experimenting and running tests on yourself. And this could be writing or drawing or recording a kind of talking memo diary thing. Sometimes people have written songs about what they're feeling. But if we look at the steps between the moods, and there will be thoughts, even feelings, and sometimes behaviors, and if we map that out, and it's very hard to do that in an hour. But as I said, you're with yourself all week. So you can totally do this and map this stuff out. Like, oh, actually, before I got angry that time, this happened, or this is what I was thinking about. Who knew? So just a few ideas why homework, not that I would ever call it that, is useful in therapy. Thanks for playing the video. Like and subscribe for more interesting content. Until next time, take care and bye for now.